Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. Have you ever wondered, if your time was counting down, what would truly matter? How precious would those things we postpone every day become? Today, in our series, If I Had 1 Year to Live, we'll explore something seemingly ordinary yet incredibly valuable. 8 hours of sleep every night. Not to wallow in sadness or regret, but to awaken, to live fully in each present moment. This isn't just about thoughts, but a call to action, for you and me to live a life without regrets. Let's begin this journey together. Sounds paradoxical, doesn't it? When I only have 1 year to live, the first thing I want to do is sleep. That's right, I would sleep 8 hours every night. No more late-night work sessions. No more painful early mornings. No more sacrificing sleep to live every second. I remember during college, there was a popular saying, "Sleep less now, sleep plenty when you're dead." Then when we started working, we proudly boasted about pulling all-nighters, waking up at 5 a.m., or working 80-hour weeks. We've turned exhaustion into a badge of honor, and sacrificing sleep into a symbol of diligence. But if I only had 365 days left to live, I wouldn't spend that precious time feeling tired, foggy-minded, and inefficient. I want to experience each day fully with my sharpest mind, healthiest body, and most balanced emotions. And that can only happen when I get enough sleep. You know, there's a story about Steve Jobs that few people mention. In his final years while battling cancer, he changed his work habits. Instead of working constantly as he did before, he devoted more time to rest, to being with family, and to taking care of his health. He understood that health and mental clarity were the foundation for enjoying what remained. When time becomes finite, we need not only to live more but to live deeper. And sleep is the key that unlocks that depth. So how do we actually get 8 hours of quality sleep every night? It sounds simple, but in our modern world full of temptations and pressures, protecting our sleep can sometimes be harder than other more significant challenges. The first step is to treat sleep as a sacred appointment with yourself. Imagine you have an important meeting at 10 p.m., not with your boss, not with your partner, but with your sleep. And like any important appointment, you wouldn't be late, right? Next, create a bedtime ritual. Our bodies love consistency and rituals. It could be 30 minutes without your phone before bed, a cup of herbal tea, a few pages of a book, or 5 minutes of meditation. This ritual is like a series of signals to your brain saying, "Hey, it's time to relax and sleep now." The sleep environment is also crucial. Your bedroom should be a sleep sanctuary. Dark, quiet, cool, and comfortable. No TV, no working in bed. The bed is only for two things: sleeping and loving. That's it. And here's something many people forget. Sleep quality matters more than quantity. 8 hours of tossing and turning isn't as good as 6 hours of deep sleep. Track your sleep cycles. A complete sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes, and ideally you should wake up at the end of a cycle, not in the middle. There are many apps that can help you calculate this. I used to think that using coffee to stay up late was the way to optimize time. But after many years, I realized that 1 hour of work with a clear mind after a good night's sleep can be more effective than 3 hours of work in a tired state. That's not saving time. It's wasting it. And there's another major obstacle: feeling guilty about resting. Many of us feel guilty about taking time to sleep when there's so much to do. But think about it, if you only had 1 year to live, would you want to spend that year working at 50% capacity because of lack of sleep, or working at 100% because you're well rested? After all, the biggest lesson from prioritizing sleep isn't about health or productivity. It's about how we view time and self-worth. In modern society, being busy has become a status symbol. We pride ourselves on how busy we are, how little we sleep, as if that's the measure of success. But behind that busyness, sometimes hides the fear of facing ourselves, of confronting life's big questions. When you make time for sleep, you're saying, "I deserve rest. I don't need to produce constantly to prove my worth." That's a profound act of self-love. The poet Rumi once wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Sleep is the time when the ocean within you is replenished, regenerated. I once met an 85-year-old man at a seminar on happiness. When asked about his secret to a long and happy life, he just smiled and said, "I always sleep when I'm tired and wake up when I'm rested. That's it." At first, I thought it was too simple an answer. But the more I reflected, the more I recognized the wisdom in it. He had learned to listen to his body and respect its most basic needs. Another interesting paradox. When we truly value sleep, we actually appreciate our waking moments more. Each morning after a good night's sleep becomes a gift, a new beginning, rather than an exhausting battle with drowsiness and coffee. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to experiment with getting 8 hours of sleep each night. It's not easy, I know, but give it a try. Start by identifying your ideal sleep window. If you need to wake up at 6 a.m., aim to be asleep by 10 p.m. Next, record how you feel each day, your alertness level, mood, work productivity. After 7 days, look back and assess the difference. If you're busy with many responsibilities, start slowly. Maybe just add 30 minutes more sleep each night for the first week, then another 30 minutes in the second week. Share your experience in the comments section. I'd love to know if this challenge makes any difference in your life. And if you face difficulties, share those too. We can learn from each other's challenges. Life is not measured by the number of years we live, but by how we live those years. Imagine a year from now, looking back and smiling because you didn't let precious sleep slip away unclaimed. It may sound paradoxical, but sometimes to live more fully, we need to sleep more. Because alertness, joy, and being fully present during our waking hours, that's the gift of adequate sleep. If this video has given you a new perspective, leave a comment about your experience. Each like, each share is motivation for me to continue this series, spreading meaningful ideas to more people. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss the next episode in the If I Had 1 Year to Live series. Because whether time is long or short, what matters most is how we use it. See you next week with the topic, If I Had 1 Year to Live. I would say, I love you more often. Remember, each moment is a gift. Unwrap it with all appreciation and a clear mind after a good night's sleep.